I don't know about you, but have you ever been disappointed in a shoe? Because that's how I feel right now. What's good everyone on YouTube? It's me again, back with another video. And going on with this whole theme of the on-air collection, we have got the one that is most hyped up right now because it's selling for the most amount of money. So, the design behind this. So this was the winner from Shanghai. His name was Maru-Chan. I'm hoping I said that right. And his inspiration for this particular shoe was clouds or like some sort of like kaleidoscope type thing. It's nicknamed the Kaleidoscopes. And you kind of get this idea with the colorway and the sort of repeating layers on this shoe. I'm not gonna front, this is the shoe that's disappointed me the most in this collection because I personally voted for this shoe because the renders looked freaking sick. But the final product, I'll get into it. So, without further ado, today we are talking about the Air Max 97 OA CR, so on-air Maru, in the Kaleidoscope colorway, or concept. So with the intro out of the way, let's get into the box. So just like all the other on-air stuff, we've got the same on-air box. It is a gloss black box with Nike on the side and Nike on air on top. If we flip it open, we've actually got a card that comes unique with each particular on-air shoe. And this one's got Shanghai written on the front and these like sort of cloud bubbly shapes. And then we've actually got a message on the other side. And I haven't organized anyone to read this one yet, so if I have a recording, I'm gonna play it now.
走在属于自己的那片云上。
And if I don't have one, I am actually going to put this up for you guys. Hopefully that is in focus. So if anyone can translate this, leave it down in the comments and that would be greatly appreciated. So, with the postcard out of the way, we've actually got the same standard paper with all the participating cities on it. I'm not going to repeat myself, I've been saying these cities all day. And then the shoes were stuffed with standard paper, and you actually get 2 extra laces with this pair. So you've got these sky blue laces with red aglets, and you've got these red laces with clear aglets on the tip. So nice that we got 2 extra laces. I'm always a sucker for bonuses. And if we go to the side, it reads Nike Air Max 97 OACR. So, in terms of the retail price, these shoes retail for just the same amount as the last 2 shoes I've been reviewing. They retail for a price of 270 Australian dollars. I'll be honest, I managed to cop 5 out of the 6 for retail, and this was the one I didn't cop for retail. What I paid around 780 Australian dollars. Not my proudest moment. I'll put the conversion here. And much like some other shoes that I bought for resale, you tend to look at shoes in a very different lens when you pay resale. So for $780, we'll get into it. So with the box out of the way, let's get into the shoes. And here we are, the Nike Air Max 97 OA CR in the Kaleidoscope colorway. So don't mind these tags, this was just from the seller that I bought them from. But the most defining feature of this particular shoe is just the sheer amount of layers that you've actually got. So if we take a look from the top, you've actually just got all these extremely thin sort of fabric layers that line up where the usual 97 layers would line up. And I counted this before the video, there are actually 15 individual layers on this shoe. And in watching an interview with the designer, his intent for all these layers was actually for people to customize and cut up this shoe. So in its stock form, it definitely looks rather odd, but the idea is that you would cut down these layers into whatever jagged shapes or height you particularly wanted. Probably not going to do that, I'm just too scared to customize shoes like that. But these layers, some of the layers are made out of that Zoomfly SP/Element 87 clear material, and they've got some cheap fabric materials. It feels rather cheap, to be honest. It kind of adds to this whole kaleidoscope theme with this repeating idea, and this is actually carried over as well in the pull tab, where we've got 3 pull tabs, and within each pull tab there is a secondary mini pull tab. Just everything is just dividing. It's like a cell's dividing. And then on the shoe, we've got these standard rope laces with red aglets on the end. And the tongue is actually different from most 97s. It's this very thin, almost plasticky tongue. It reminds me a lot of like the Off-White 97's tongue. It's very stiff, plasticky. It's not that comfortable. And then we've actually got triple pull tabs on the tongue as well, which is very interesting. And if we move down to the mudguard, instead of using the traditional leather, they've actually used this light colored sky blue suede. For a mudguard, light colors and suede are just a recipe for disaster, but I'm not the designer. And then we've just got these red accents sprinkled throughout, so we've got the checks on the side as well as on the tongue. So that pretty much covers the main features of this particular shoe. The craziest part is just this top view, honestly. You can just see all these layers as I pull them apart. But moving down to the cushioning, we've got the standard Air Max 97 Air unit that was introduced in 1997. So full length Air unit, chamber in the back, and I'll get into comfort later in the video. Now, in terms of sizing, I finally listened to my own advice and picked these up in a size 10, and these shoes fit me good. They fit me well. So I've had the chance to try these shoes on, not this particular one, but I've worn 97s in a size 9.5 before, and I find they fit small. So my recommendation would be to go up half a size from your true to size. So these are a size 10 and they fit me great. Now, in terms of comfort, I've said this many times, seeing as like 2 or 3 of the shoes out of the On Air collection recycle the same sole, but the comfort of the Air Max 97's outsole is really nothing special. This is old school tech. The impact protection is not that high. It's not that amazing. And then we move to the upper. It really just feels like a normal 97. The tongue does get in the way a little bit. It's a bit stiff, which reduces the flexibility and comfort in that area. But despite having all these layers, because they've used such thin material, it doesn't add to the heat or anything like that. So I would just say this, for as weird as it looks, this still feels like a pretty standard 97. Now I get into the part of the video where I talk about my opinions on this shoe. And as I said before in the start of the video, this particular shoe from the collection has been the most disappointing in my opinion. This was actually the shoe I was rooting for when the voting was happening back last year, and I voted for this shoe a lot because the renders made it look really amazing with like this very translucent, formless kind of smoky aesthetic to it. But I should have known better that, like, honestly, that kind of aesthetic could only be achieved in like renders, because when it came to the final product, I give him full props for giving it his best shot, and I honestly would have no idea how to make his original render come to life. But as it stands right now, it really is just kind of bizarre looking. Blue is one of my favorite colors, so don't get me wrong, the color's nice, but just these layers really look bizarre and odd. And honestly, someone told me that this looks like a cabbage, like with all the layers that you can peel back. And I can't sort of unsee that now. And something I noticed, I've worn these once before, not outside, but when the shoe flexes, the layers actually flare out in a really kind of disgusting way. So honestly, like, and especially for the fact that I paid resale for this shoe, this really has been the most disappointing shoe in the collection, but that is just my opinion. And with that, we've come to the end of another video. Now, I would love to hear where you would rank, I'd love to hear your opinions on this shoe, and where would you rank this amongst the rest of the On Air collection? So for me, finally seeing these in person, I think I'm probably gonna put this, I'd almost say, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna say it. I'm putting these below the Paris work in progress, so I'm putting these in 4th place. The Paris have moved up to 3rd, and the soles are sitting at 2nd at this point. But I would love to hear where you would put this shoe in the rest of the On Air collection. Just leave it down in the comments. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. And now time for the on feet portion, and you'll see what I mean by this weird flaring when you flex the shoe. But who knows, you might be into that. I don't know.